What is up, guys? Stark here, and today I'm going to bring you my death predictions for Season 5 of The Walking Dead. Now, I know this isn't something I'd usually do on my channel. I've been focusing a lot on gaming and everything like that, but I am a huge fan of The Walking Dead, and I'm really excited for Season 5 to get started later today at the beginning of this recording. So I wanted to share with you who I think is going to die, who I think is going to live, who I think might die, and everything in between for the main cast of the beginning of Season 5 of The Walking Dead. I'm going right down the casting list, so of course we're going to start off with the main star of The Walking Dead, Rick Grimes. Well, obviously, Rick's not going to die. I mean, spoiler alert, but casting call already confirms that he lives all the way through Season 5. So, I mean, it's not like anybody expected Rick to come in and get lit up in Season 5 anyway. So, sorry if you thought Rick had a chance to go down, but yeah, his death chance is at 0%. It's not happening. It's probably never going to happen at any point within the near future. Next up, we have Daryl Dixon, the crossbow-wielding fan favorite. Daryl has been around since almost the beginning. I think he popped up in Season 1, Episode 3, maybe? I don't know, but he's been around for a long time. He's a huge fan favorite, but I'm not going to say he's a complete untouchable. I'm going to put his death chance at 2%. So, I mean, I'm 98% sure Daryl's going to make it through the season. I'm pretty much 100% sure. But just based on the fact that he's been around forever, and that AMC kind of likes killing off fan favorites like Herschel and Dale. I liked Dale. Shane. I kind of liked Shane. But I think there's a tiny itty bitty chance Daryl could die in some heroic fashion. But I think it's pretty likely he's going to make it through the entire season. Okay, now it starts to get a bit interesting. Next up we have Glenn Rhee. I don't remember ever hearing his last name, but apparently his last name's Rhee, R-H-E-E. Glenn has been around since almost the beginning. He has been. He didn't physically show up till the second episode, but you heard him in the first episode when Rick locks himself in the tank. But Glenn, I actually think has a very good chance to die this season. I'm going to put his death chance at 85%. I feel like if you follow the comics at all, he gets his head... Well, okay, spoiler alert. If you follow the comics at all, Glenn gets his head bashed in by a baseball bat. And if you watch the trailer, you see a guy behind him with a baseball bat. But then the trailer shows him and he's alive when they leave Terminus. So, I don't think he's going to die at Terminus. But I feel like Glenn has been around forever. They're really starting to wipe out pretty much everybody except Rick and Daryl that's been around since the complete beginning. So I think Glenn might either die in the mid-season finale or the season finale. But I think there's a really low chance that Glenn makes it all the way through the season just based on what I know from the comics, because the TV series kind of tries to follow the comics. And just because I don't even know how to explain it, but I don't think Glenn will be around for Season 6. Alright, next up we have Maggie. Maggie, I mean, I can literally go through and think of a way that like almost anybody on the show could die, except for Maggie. I just don't see how they can kill Maggie off. I don't know why, I can't explain it, but I still think she's one of those characters that they could always just surprise us with and kill off in like the mid-season finale or something like that. I don't really think they're going to. I'm going to put her death chance at 40%. And like my reasoning, I feel like either Glenn or Maggie's going to die this season, and I think it's going to be Glenn. But if Glenn doesn't die, I think Maggie has a better chance of dying, if that makes any sense. I don't think they're going to kill off both of them, and I don't think they're going to let either of them make it through. And then they're going to like let the other one suffer because they're married. But of the two, I think Glenn's definitely more likely to go down. Alright, next up we have Carl. Carl, kind of like his dad, they're not going to kill Carl. I mean, it's just not going to happen. He's got too much of a following. And since he's like actually growing up in real life, it's letting his character in the show develop too. So I mean, his death chance it's at 0. They're not going to kill Carl. Carl's going to be around for probably a very, very long time. I mean, his character's just been growing so much over the season 3 and 4, and even season 2, kind of towards the end. I mean, it's not going to happen. Carl's going to make it through season 5 and season 6, and however far they go. Okay, now we have Michonne. Michonne, I know I said Daryl has a tiny little bit chance to die, even though he's so popular with the fans, but Michonne's not going to get killed off. I'm going to put her at 0%. Her character developed a lot in season 4, like when she started to warm up to the group and open up to Rick and Carl a lot. And I'm really interested to see what they do with her this season. But I definitely feel Michonne's completely safe for this entire season and probably next season, just because, well, 1, she's badass and she has a katana. And 2, just because they have so many avenues they could go with developing her character further. And she's still alive in issue 126 or whatever we're on in the comics. So Michonne's going to be around for a very long time. Okay, now we have Carol. Carol's another character that grew and has grown and developed a lot ever since really the beginning. She's been around since the beginning too. A lot of people kind of forget that. But I mean, out of the original group, all that's left is Rick, Carl, Glenn, Daryl, and Carol. But Carol, I think I'm going to put her death chance at 25%. I don't think she's going to die, but I could also see her getting killed off like in a big surprise thing, like in the mid-season finale, like I've been saying for a lot of people. I just have a feeling that this year's mid-season finale, just like what they did with Herschel last year and what they did with Sophia in season 2, they're just kind of going to kill somebody off, and it's kind of going to shock us. And if they were to go that route, I definitely think Carol's a candidate to get killed off, but I think she's also going to make it through the entire season. Alright, Beth is next on my list. Beth has become one of my favorite characters in the entire show, just based on, again, how she's developed ever since we met her back on Herschel's farm. She went from being a suicidal, scared kid to now she's burning houses down and trying to get drunk and trying to live for today, or whatever you want to call it. If you remember, Beth gets kidnapped when she's with Daryl, and you don't know what really happens to her until we saw the season 5 trailer, where it looks like she's in a hospital or she's doing something weird. I'm not really sure. I don't really know what's going on with her, but she is confirmed to be alive at the beginning of season 5. But I just feel like Beth is probably going to get killed off this season. I'm going to put her death chance at 75%. I mean, they killed off Herschel last season, and I feel like they're starting to kind of whittle down a lot of the people that we've met in the past, so they can make room for a lot of new characters. And I just do not feel like they're going to kill off Maggie. And I feel like they could kill off Beth, but that would be really bad for Maggie if, like, my prediction of Glenn getting killed and then Beth gets killed goes through. So I kind of think it might be out of Maggie, Glenn, and Beth. I feel like one of those 3 are going to go down, and I think it's either going to be Beth or Glenn. But I definitely think Beth is in some serious danger coming up this season. Next up is Tyrese. Tyrese has been proven to be a very reckless character. I'm just going to start out by saying I think his death chance is at 60%. Tyrese, I mean, after he lost Karen, he became like borderline suicidal. When Michonne, Daryl, Bob, and Tyrese got like stuck in that car, he was just sitting in there almost waiting for the walkers to get him. And then like last second he kind of realized, whoa, I probably don't want to get killed, so he jumped out and managed to scrape out of there. I just feel like his recklessness is gonna eventually get him killed. So that's why I think he has a fairly good chance to go down this season. Okay, now we have Tyrese's sister, Sasha. I don't think Sasha's in any real danger to go down, but she's obviously not untouchable. I've got her at 30%, 30% chance to get killed. I mean, I could obviously see it happening somehow, but there's nothing that makes me think that she's a lock to get killed off either, so she's just kind of in that in-between zone where she might make it through, she might not. We really don't know, but if she did go down, she's important enough where it'd probably be made a pretty big deal. And it'd probably be, like I've said about 5 times now, it'd probably be the mid-season finale or the season finale. Because Sasha's not just a character they're going to kill off and then not really make a big deal about it. Okay, next on the list is Bob. Bob is a recovering, or he's not even recovering, he's an alcoholic. I'm not a big fan of Bob. I've got his death chance at 55%. I actually think it's probably a bit higher than that. If you look in the season 5 trailer, you can see Bob's head like hanging down, like he's either unconscious or dead right beside Rick. And then I didn't really make a big time point to look out for him, but I didn't see him throughout the rest of the trailer. So I think there might be a chance that Bob gets killed off tonight in the season premiere. But either way, I don't think Bob has the best chances of making it all the way through. And frankly, I really don't care. I'm just not a huge fan of Bob, to be honest. So his death chance is at 55%. Alright, next up is Tara. Tara's not an extremely popular character, kind of due to her part with the governor and Herschel getting killed, even though she really didn't participate in the actual assault on the prison. But every list kind of needs an all or nothing thing, and I've got Tara at 100% chance that she's going to go down at some point. She injured her leg in the tunnel with Glenn, which I don't know if that's going to end up having any major repercussions in the future. But I just see Tara as one of those characters that's going to get killed off, and she's going to get killed off helping Glenn again, doing something. She might even end up saving Glenn's life, and she could die instead of Glenn, just because of how she feels, all the guilt she feels over everything that went down at the prison. But I am going to say Tara is a lock to die at some point in season 5. Alright, next we have Abraham Ford. I'm a big fan of Abraham's character. He's just kind of another badass that they brought onto the show. I've got no problems with that. I think since they introduced him really early, since they introduced him late in the season, I think his chances to die are very low. I'm going to put him at 10%. And my kind of line of thinking is that they might kill Tyrese off, and that Abraham's going to come up and fill his role as kind of like the big burly badass, like, don't mess with me, I'm big, I'll kick your ass kind of guy. And kind of the main point of season 5 is getting the group to DC, and that's Abraham's mission in the first place, so I really don't see them killing off Abraham at any point this season. Similar to Abraham, we have Eugene now. Eugene is another person I don't think is going to die. It's just having him alive is so important to the plot of season 5 that I don't really see how they can kill him off. I've got him at 15%, and if he does die, I think it's going to be very late in the season after something bad already went down or their plan's already gone to hell or whatever. But at least early on, Eugene's a lock to stay alive, and I'm kind of glad because he's funny. I mean, I think he's funny. He's got like a nerdy sense of humor, and he's really smart, but he's also kind of a liability, and I could see him getting killed if like he gets ambushed because he can't handle a weapon and doesn't look like he can defend himself very well. And if Abraham or Rosita goes down, then there's one less person that's really got his best interests in mind and keeping him alive. Okay, Rosita Espinosa is next up. I've got her at a 90% chance to die in season 5, and my reasoning is throughout the trailers you can see there's a point where Abraham is like crying and he looks really upset, and he drops to his knees and he's crying, and I think it's because Rosita gets killed at some point because she kind of his love interest, and obviously if she dies he's going to be really upset over it. And she's kind of filler character. She's not majorly important to the storyline. I mean, she's there to help keep Eugene alive, but she's not vital to keeping Eugene alive now that Eugene's in with Rick's group and everybody. and they have everybody else helping keep him safe as well. So I do think Rosita's going to go down at some point in the season. I've got her at 90%. Okay, next up is Gareth. If you don't know who Gareth is, I mean, his name's not really explained, but he's the leader of Terminus. So, I mean, I've got his death chance at 100%. It's pretty much common knowledge that this jackass is going to go down at some point in the series, probably by Rick or Michonne or Daryl. But I mean, he's going to be there at least through the first few episodes, because based on my understanding, the people of Terminus are going to help try to get Eugene to Washington. But I mean, you know, eventually something's going to go down and there's going to be a fight and Gareth's going to get killed, probably very brutally. And I feel like that's something that might be kind of mid-season finale-ish time span. Like, he might end up killing somebody. Like, that's where I could see Glenn maybe getting killed there, and then they kill Gareth because he killed Glenn, or he had his people kill Glenn. So I don't know when, but it's going to happen. Gareth is not going to make it through the entire season. And no, I did not forget baby Judith. She's not obviously on the casting list because they have a bunch of different babies play her due to child labor laws, I think is the reason. But I have Judith at a 5% chance to get killed. My reasoning is, if they're going to kill Judith, they would have either killed her at the prison when the governor attacked and they left us on the cliffhanger when her baby carriage was bloody and empty, or they would have had Lizzie kill her when she killed Mika. So I mean, since she's already survived those two things, and I really don't think Walking Dead wants to kill off a baby, I think Judith is more or less pretty safe for the upcoming season and probably for a very long time. And with that, I want to thank you all for watching. If you enjoy this video, go ahead and leave a like down below. Go ahead and comment with who you think is going to get killed in Season 5 of The Walking Dead, which starts tonight. I am so excited. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more things like this. Let me know if you want to see more Walking Dead oriented things like this. I love doing this. I could do recaps after episodes, things like that. I don't know. I enjoy doing it. If you guys enjoy doing it, I don't see why I shouldn't keep doing it. Anyways, I think that's about it. If you enjoyed, go ahead and leave a like below. And thank you for watching.